putting his body on me. Yeah. I'm gonna get tomorrow and put it on tomorrow too.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me. Guys, am I or am I not in my James Brown era? It's giving James Brown. Yes, is it giving hairline, guys? Is it giving real? Y'all let me know. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to talk about a few hot topics. Some of them are a little bit dated because I was supposed to do this video last week. Life be lifing. Okay, so before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So a few topics here. I mean, I think all the topics have something to do with partnership, relationships to some degree. So we're kind of following a theme here. We're going to start with Kelvin Hunter and the spousal support situation. If you don't know, Kelvin Hunter is Wendy Williams's ex-husband. I think the divorce is final. I'm not quite sure. But while the show was going on, as we know now, she has early onset dementia and aphasia, which is just, you know, wreaking havoc in her life. But before that, she was on the show talking about her relationship because it became known to the public. She already knew that her husband had a mistress and a baby on the way, a whole house with this lady and all kinds of stuff, right? So the divorce was happening in the public eye, and it was reported that she would be paying him spousal support. Whew, Chile. Wow, crazy. So now her caretakers are trying to get some money back from Kelvin because apparently he has been overpaid. This article is from The Sun, and it reads, former daytime talk show queen Wendy Williams finds herself entangled in legal drama once again, this time with her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter. I've been calling him Kelvin. Yikes. At the center of the storm. Hunter is currently suing Williams for 2 years' worth of back alimony payments after allegedly being abruptly cut off when Williams resumed drinking and abandoned her talk show following their divorce. However, the plot thickens as Williams's court-appointed financial guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, has filed papers demanding that Hunter return $112,500 in alimony payments that she claims he was mistakenly overpaid. The U.S. Sun reports Morrissey contends that, according to the couple's marital settlement agreement, Hunter was entitled to severance payments from Williams if her yearly earned income exceeded a certain threshold. However, with Williams' absence from hosting the Wendy Williams show for her entire last season and subsequent cessation of her full salary payments in October 2021, Morrissey argues that Hunter continued to receive payments despite no longer meeting the criteria outlined in the agreement. The court filing alleges that Hunter's receipt of $112,500 in overpayment alimony constitutes unjust enrichment at Williams's expense. Morrissey is now seeking the court order to compel Hunter to repay the sum along with any accrued interest. In addition to the financial dispute, Morrissey is also seeking to impose a gag order on Hunter, preventing him from speaking about the case. This move underscores the escalating tensions between Williams and Hunter as their legal battle spills into the public eye. The theme of this episode, this video, is going to be careful who you choose. Because something about the way she would talk about Kelvin Hunter, he had his hands in everything. In management, I think they were together while she was on the radio, any kind of endorsement, like he was always in everything. And then he had the audacity, and I'm not saying like Wendy Williams was an amazing person, okay? But he was eating off of Wendy's name, eating off of her career. And maybe he did propel her in certain aspects because he was a part of her management team and all that stuff, but for him to now exploit her, considering her situation and considering the fact that he was eating off of her name, is just crazy to me. I'm glad that her caretakers are doing something, because we spoke about the documentary not too long ago, the docuseries. I didn't watch it, but we touched on it a little bit. And the theme in that was that her caretakers, or the people who are around her, whether they are official caretakers or not, just weren't doing right by Wendy. And so to see them actually seeking restitution in some form or fashion makes me feel like, okay, well, I guess somebody has her back, regardless of how you feel about her. But yeah, everybody in Wendy's life is just used to exploiting her. And that's crazy. I don't know if she's ever going to get that money back. I know that there was a situation with, was it Wells Fargo? They were holding her funds, and her conservatorship makes it seem like she's never going to get access to any funds. So even if they recoup the money from Kelvin, will she ever see that money? Who knows? I don't even think she's in a right state of mind to handle the money anyways. All I know is, regardless of I want to tread softly, because I do believe that the way people act should be addressed and they should be held accountable. We'll talk about accountability real soon with this Chris Brown story. But sometimes people make it seem like, Wendy was out here human trafficking or something. Like, I don't know. Some of the vitriol that I see for Wendy now that she is in the state that she is doesn't align with the Wendy who I've seen online. But you have an opinion. You're allowed to express it however you feel. And if you feel like this is Wendy's just desserts, then hey, that's how you feel. Me personally, I feel like it's still sad to see her in this state. And I hope that she has at least one person in her corner. Moving on, we have the Ashanti and Nelly engagement / pregnancy announcement. So this was broken by Essence. Am I just going to do the Instagram post, or are we going to actually read the Essence article? Let's just read the article. The article reads, Ashanti and Nelly are having a baby. The singer shared the good news exclusively with Essence and is overjoyed about not only having their first child, her first child, because it's his, fifth, but also being engaged to her longtime love. This new year of life is such a blessing, full of love, hope, and anticipation, she says. Motherhood is something that I have looked forward to, and sharing this with my family, fiance, and loyal fans who have been so supportive of my career is an amazing experience.
All right, guys, 10, 15 minutes, showtime. Yo, Sean. Hey, Sean, showtime.
Sean, come on there, Betty. Sean, how much time you need? I need about 9 months.
The couple also told Essence exclusively that they are co-owners of Prove, along with founder Amy Beckley, PhD. It's a diagnostics company that offers at-home tests that help individuals looking to conceive make it happen faster and in a way that doesn't leave a large dent in their pockets, which is amazing. I know a lot of women in my personal life who have experienced just horror stories when it comes to their fertility journey, a myriad of miscarriages. I know one woman who has had 7. That is so heartbreaking. I know another woman who was wanting to pay for the fertility testing and the in vitro fertilization and stuff like that. It got to a point where they were considering surrogacy. All in all, it's just a huge expense, even if you're living in Canada, where the healthcare is supposed to be free, So let's move on. The medical grade tests help to bring to light the issues that can keep people from being able to conceive. Prue was featured in Ashanti's pregnancy announcement video, which was co-shared by Essence on Instagram. All of this is part of a new chapter that lives in the lives. I'm dead. All of this is part of a new chapter in the lives of the stars. As noted, this will be Ashanti's first child and Nelly's 5th. He has a younger daughter, Chanel, a son, Cornell Jr., and adopted Sean and Sydney Thomas, the 2 children of his sister, Jackie Donahue, after she died of leukemia in 2005. Now, there are some mixed opinions with this, because when they were dating back in the day, I was too young to really clock their relationship, obviously. It seemed as if they were not claiming each other. They were together, but it was an unspoken together. They did a lot of songs together. What song did they do that I really like? They did Body on Me, but what's the other one? No, was he on that song? Was he on Good Good? Here's why I like Good Good. Is it a pick-me anthem? Absolutely. But there's just something about that chorus where I put it on them right, I do it every night, I leave them sitting mouth up and like, woo! Like, I don't know. It was really catchy. It is a pick-me anthem, though. I acknowledge that. So they had broken up for about 20 years. And there was this one video that was going around of this guy saying, see, ladies, this is what you need to do. You need to take time off, work on yourself, work on your body, work on your career. And when that man comes around, Ashanti wasn't sitting around waiting for Nelly. She wasn't improving herself for Nelly. Ashanti was living her damn life. Okay? Now, was the body tea? Absolutely. Could the career be in a better place? That one really breaks my heart, especially considering the many other artists, some who may be sitting on a block somewhere in New York, who knows, who have benefited off of Ashanti's voice, but not Ashanti herself. It's really sad to see that her career is not at the level that it should be. I digress. She lived her life. And she never got married and she never had kids. I don't know the exact reason why. Maybe there's an interview out there that says why, but I would assume she hadn't found that person that aligns with her enough to want to make that lifetime commitment. There was also chatter about, oh my gosh, she's pregnant, because we talked about it too on this channel a couple months ago. How could she be pregnant with a man that she's not married to and stuff like that? Well, here you go. She's engaged and pregnant. Does this kind of cancel it out for the people who didn't like that arrangement? You let me know. Would y'all spin the block? I feel like spinning the block is a little bit controversial because sometimes it really can work. But I think people just look at the success story and they think, oh, let me try that too. No. There's a few reasons why the success stories are success stories. The people who separate actually depart, clean break, and take some time to work on themselves. Number two, when you come back together, there has to be an admission of fault. There has to be an acknowledgement of the growth, and there has to be a plan of action on how you're going to grow together as that couple. To just come back together and you still have that same foolishness going on in your relationship that caused you to break up in the first place, it's going to end up the same way. There's no point in that. Because some people, I think they just get back with somebody out of comfortability and not out of, no, that generally was a good thing. It was just the wrong time. It might be the right person, but the wrong time. Because some people need to work on their patience. Some people need to work on their fidelity. Some people need to work on their money management. Some people need to work on their emotional wounds that are just open, bleeding over other people. So you take that time, you work on it, you come back together appreciating what you had, appreciating the growth in between, and having a plan of action to be better individuals and better as a couple. I say all that to say, I guess I'm happy for Nelly and Ashanti. I don't know anything about their lives, and even if I did, it's none of my business. Children are a blessing. Happy for them. Hope they have a nice wedding. I feel like Ashanti deserves, Yeah, good for them. Moving on. Raven Symoné and her wife were on a podcast with, what's this girl's name? I know her name. She's a TikToker.
Her name is Finita.
I'll probably insert me while editing what her name is. So she hosted Raven Simone and her wife. Now the wife's name, I don't know. So we're just going to leave that one alone.
Her name is Miranda Pierman Mayday. I hope I'm saying that right, but I am going to keep referring to her as Raven Simone's wife.
And a lot of people are calling out Raven's wife, saying, yo, she's a hater.
Sometimes when I'm sick, I feel really nostalgic. And even though I hadn't seen Cheetah Girls before, I was like, I need to watch Cheetah Girls. And then I watched College Road Trip. I think she's having a stroke.
Because you hadn't seen Cheetah Girls before.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of Cheetah Girls.
You're welcome.
You've got to strut like you mean it. Free your mind. It's not enough just to dream it. Come on, get up.
I don't know the
when
rest.
you feel it, it's your chance to shine. Strut like you mean it. Come on. Y así es un sueño.
Wow.
Come on.
I don't know this part.
Come on.
You better strut like you mean it.
Free your mind. Not enough just to dream it. Come on, get up when you feel it. Chance to shine. Strut like you mean it. Come on.
So clearly, I'm Adrienne Bailon.
Oh, I forgot the first verse.
Hold on.
Hit it.
Let's party up, hit the groove, celebrate's what we're here to do. Round the music, now's the time. All of us are here tonight.
South the party up, going strong. About to do it and all day long. Tell the mucker, cheetah girls.
Here we go, gonna rock the world. Party cause you know the future's all yours. Dance to your feet, don't touch the floor. Celebrate the day you're waiting for. Party like you're ready for so much more. Do it like you know it's never been done. Throw a little crazy, have too much fun. Today's the day, come on everyone. The party's just begun. I know you feeling it. Put your hands up if you feel. I'm feeling it, girl. You know I'm feeling it. Yeah.
And then I run up the stairs and I'm like extremely out of breath. Yeah.
Okay,
You know, I've never done a concert like that before.
Wait, I was just about to say, Fanita, you need to know that clearly Raven likes you because the fact that she just did that is wild. I am mind blown. I also have FOMO that I don't know what the hell you guys were just singing. Number two, whatever. But that's crazy, babe.
No, I literally plotted before. I was like, I have to sing. I have to sing.
But the fact that she sang with you is crazy.
I was literally saying earlier, I was like, I don't think Raven sings her songs. I was like, I don't think she would sing. They're like, I mean, just fucking try it.
Listen, the joy that
She
you
feels
have right
comfy
now,
here.
I'm connected to it. And no, I do not sing that song a lot.
I know.
Slash
Oh my
ever.
God.
That was
hold
fun.
on.
I enjoyed it.
I'm literally, I just had an out-of-body experience. I'm so
It
sorry.
looked like it.
I completely understand that Raven's wife is of a different demographic, probably was consuming different, media when she was younger. But at some point, doesn't it get old to keep pointing out that you did not know who this person was back in the day? Like, doesn't that get old? She brings it up every single time. I never watched That's So Raven. Cheetah Girls, don't know it. Girl, like, we get it. we get it, okay? I don't think Raven's wife is a hater. I think Raven's wife, and it's so bad that I'm calling her Raven's wife, but it adds emphasis to the point that I'm trying to make here. I think she's trying to be relevant in the conversation. Because the fact of the matter is, regardless of what career her wife has, Raven is the focal point in almost every conversation that we see posted online. We're here to talk to Raven. And Raven has some kind of clause in her contracts that said, if I'm talking on camera, my wife gonna be beside me. Love that for you, girl, okay? So I feel like in an attempt to feel relevant in a conversation, and I could be reaching, absolutely could be reaching. This is all just an assumption. I think that she brings up that to feel like, okay, I'm seen too. Y'all let me know how you think about that. I think it's weird to have a partner who's just constantly like, yeah, didn't know anything about them. Still don't. Like, it's okay. It's okay. We understand. You didn't know who she was before. You know who she is now and you love her. Okay, just support her. Preferably silently. That's all I'm saying, okay?
As I'm editing this video and taking breaks, I saw that Simone Biles was on a podcast called, I'm pretty sure it was called Call Me Daddy. And on there, she does talk about her career, her accolades, her mental health, and also meeting Jonathan, her husband. And she touches on the infamous interview and she shares her thoughts. I felt like it was relevant to include it in this video because the way that I see Simone Biles' husband is kind of how I see Raven Simone's wife as well. I feel like they both are aware that they are with somebody who does take the majority of the limelight. And sometimes the way that they articulate themselves doesn't translate the way that they intended to us, the general public.
We have to talk about the viral moment.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do
I
it.
knew you were gonna ask
I have to. Jonathan's viral interview where he said he had no idea who you were and the internet went insane. What was your reaction when you heard the interview and everything?
I was in the room. I was sitting on the chair. You just couldn't see me on the videos. I was there for the whole entire video.
And you were feeling great.
I was feeling great. I was like, my man just killed that. And I was like,
Stop.
And I'm so excited. And like, they even panned over to me with that viral moment. And I just like roll my eyes and laugh because like,
Right.
But the funny thing is whenever I met Jonathan, we were texting that week. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I don't have time to waste. So if we're going to meet, because if it goes over a week, you're not meeting. Like, forget this, you know.
Yeah.
And so we met that week. But whenever I would text him, anything I text him, he would say, I can do that. I can do that. So he could do everything. He was a comedian. He was a dog trainer. He was the best cook out there. He was the fastest runner. He could do everything. And that cracked me up about him. So I couldn't wait to meet him to be like, you're not funny. You're not a good cook.
You're not shit.
Yeah, literally. So I just thought that was funny and I thought that was cute that he thought he was good at everything because I'm like, I'm good at gymnastics.
Right, let me
and
show
he's like,
you.
I'm good at everything. And so whenever he did that interview, I thought everything was okay.
I'm dying that
And
you're
then
in the
I go on
corner.
Twitter and everybody's like, divorce this man, he's mean. And I'm like, he's the sweetest. He praises the ground that I walk on. Like, truly, I've never met a man like him. And he never said I wasn't a catch. He said he was a catch because he is. I've never met a man like him. A lot of people that meet him are like, oh my gosh, like I want a man like that, like Jonathan. Like a lot of the girls at the gym, they love him. He's so nice to them. He supports them. He's so sweet. One of the girls at the gym, she's like my little sister. And we had gone to, I think we were at camp. And I always drive her to camp. So she drops her car off at my house and she parks it in the driveway. He got her windows tinted. He was like, you can't be fishbowling out here, and got her windows tinted. So I thought it was hilarious at first. And then they hurt my feelings.
Right.
And then like one night I broke down and I'm like, why are you guys talking about my husband like this?
Yeah.
Like you don't know him, you don't know who he is. And if anybody's met him, they know he's the sweetest guy and will do anything for anybody.
Yeah, it was
But I
just
knew that-
perceived in not the correct way.
Yes. And so that really hurt that they were talking about my husband like that. Because for me, it's like, talk about me all you want, but don't come for my family. Never.
Yeah.
So again, I bring that up to say, I think it is hard for some people who are trying to break a certain industry, or obviously the more you become visible in social media, in the public eye, you would think there's some kind of focus on you as well. And then to be partnered up with somebody who just fills up the room, not by anything that they're actively doing, but just by the name that they hold, the career that they have, I think it can be a little bit overwhelming for the people who are married to the overpowering personality or the overpowering career in the room. I don't want to say that, what was her name? Madison? Oh gosh. I don't want to say Raven Simone's husband. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to say Raven Simone's wife or Simone Biles' husband are haters. I think that they are grappling with trying to be an individual and also acknowledging that they are with very prominent people. I think they're both just struggling to navigate that. Or maybe they're not struggling. Maybe they're okay with it. And hey, do you. Then we're going to talk about, I'm going to leave Morgan Bailey for last. I wanted to quickly talk about Jill Scott because I saw that this morning. When you see this will probably be posted on Monday. Jill Scott was talking about Chris Brown. And you know how earlier I said I do feel like there's a level of accountability that needs to be taken for certain people? Chris Brown is one of them. And Jill Scott feels as if Chris Brown has paid his dues. So therefore, we should stop bringing up the past and move forward.
Now I saw this tweet and it said, first shift, Shea Butter Twitter is going to wake up and drag Jill Scott by every strand of her 4C hair that she has. It's going to be a long Sunday out here. Baby, what Jill Scott do? Y'all, Jill Scott, what? Okay, the top is cut off, but I'm going to read it for you. Jill Scott tags Chris Brown and says, Chris Brown is amazing. How does anybody sing like that? ? Dance, look, act, and rap like that. Beyond gifted. It appears exceptional people have to go through exceptional, like a fire sign, like ish. She said, there's nothing to debate. Now, somebody by the name of Noir replied back and says, I love you, Jill, but he has so many abuse cases. It's ridiculous. We can't look past that. Now, Jill Scott replies and says, I love you too. I'm not here to fight anyone else's battles. If since women hear the stories, they should avoid that street. What? She goes on to say, running backwards in moving traffic makes 0 sense. therapy for every damn body. Now, another person replied back and says, I think the women he would disagree. Now, I had to zoom in because here's the tweet that I think is going to get her dragged. Jill Scott replies and says, I doubt it. My mother's ex-husband was a mean human and he could lay foundation better than anyone in my city. What? She goes on. Now she continues and says, what he did with cement was awe-inspiring. We got away. He got a raise and praise for his abilities. God dealt with the rest. What? What? Now this from Hip Hop Homegirl. She says, sending love to Karrueche, whose public relationship will be reduced to jokes, memes, and gotcha moments, and whatever the hell that Jill Scott tweet was. Now Jill Scott followed up with this tweet and says, look, years of prayer, therapy, and self-reflection, making every effort to keep my feet on the ground has made me a compassion for other human beings. She said people go through stuff and do terrible stuff, and we say we believe in God. Prayer for enlightenment. We are a living testimony. I'm going to just leave this tweet right here.
I will say, reading the comments of this specific TikTok that I saw, I am open to admit that maybe I don't understand where Jill Scott is coming from, because that was the consensus in the comments. If a lot of people are saying the same thing, maybe I'm the one who's wrong, okay? So I will allow room for that. The way that I interpreted Jill Scott's posts were, you can separate the talent from the person. And even if somebody is a horrible person in their own life, that doesn't take away from the skills and the talent and the accolades that they have garnered. And we should focus on that. The issue I have with that is, yes, the Chris Brown and Rihanna thing, it did happen a long time ago. And did he pay his time, like actual time? Yes. That is not the only instance of Chris Brown being physically abusive to his partners. And it didn't even have to get to the level of abuse. I'm not sure if he ever did put hands on Karrueche, but we know that he publicly stalked Karrueche, and he would not let this woman just live her own life. He had a grip on her that was concerning enough to me to say, I don't know if Chris really learned the lesson all the way for real. I do believe that prison, jail, time, whatever, is supposed to be a rehabilitation situation. I do believe that, some people can pay their dues in one way or another. And if there is evidence of change behavior, if there's evidence of remorse, if there's evidence of, completely denouncing that behavior and all that, I can see having grace for the person who you now are. I'm hoping it's making sense. I'm treading so softly because I know this is a very touchy subject, but with Chris Brown, it's a pattern. It truly is a pattern with him. So I'm just like, how are we having, I don't know. Jill Scott keeping for Chris Brown didn't really sit well with me. But like I said, the majority of the comments were on a different side altogether. So maybe I'm tripping, and y'all could let me know. Maybe y'all could add, insight for me, and we'll go from there. So yeah, it's a sad day to be a Jill Scott fan. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about Morgan Bailey. If you don't know who Morgan Bailey is, she is a TikToker who went viral, I think it was last year, by talking about the random man from Atlanta. I'm pretty sure we spoke about it on this channel too. And the whole premise of that story was, she was 22 when she got pregnant from this random man from Atlanta. When she was a few weeks postpartum, he left them high and dry, no money, no home security, nothing. It turned out that he had 6 other baby mothers that she claims she did not know about. And so she's now just living life with her and Gigi on her ones. Not too long ago, Mr. Random Man from Atlanta came out of the woodwork. Well, first of all, he exposed himself. He said, well, first of all, I'm not a deadbeat, okay? This is a situation, Morgan's a liar, whatever. Then his baby mamas came out corroborating the whole, yep, he does have 6 baby mamas, whatever. Then she was like, you know what? I want to do right by Gigi. I'm going to co-parent with this man. And she was saying it's just co-parenting. We're not together. The people who follow her story realize, y'all together. And eventually the jig was up. They had to admit that they were together. I think this happened either last week. It must have been a week, max 10 days ago, but it's been bubbling for the last few days. There was a revenge, I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube, but revenge, explicit sexcapades situation with her baby daddy. And she addressed it, but people are saying, well, girl, you should have known that this was going to happen.
My child's father posted revenge porn of me last night, and honestly, I don't think any of us are surprised because this should be a major lesson for everybody on here, whether you hate me or not. When somebody shows you who they are, literally just believe them. You'll save yourself a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of energy. I could be somewhere balled up crying right now, but I'm literally not. I'm really calm about the whole entire situation because I know at the end of the day, literally, God has my back. God does not like ugly. I don't have much to say about the situation, but if you support that or you think that's okay, please go ahead and exit off my page and unfollow me and literally block me because that's actually disgusting. And you have to like be so low from the depths of hell to post revenge porn on anybody, especially if the video was never even consented to. And I've never in my life consented to any video like that being taken. I've changed my content around tremendously from when I've started TikTok because I know that my kid's going to grow up and see these videos. And I think people get it confused, but I'm a mom before I'm a TikToker. So when you guys see me making parenting decisions on other people's lives and this and that and bashing me for it, just know that I've literally been the one taking care of her since day one and without any help. I have a 20-minute video literally sitting in my drafts clearing my name on every single lie that I've been accused of telling on this app with receipts and dates to prove it. But honestly, I don't even have time to explain myself to strangers anymore at this point. If you hate me so much, you can unfollow. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'd rather lose followers than have any more drama on my page. And if you support anybody posting revenge porn on somebody and you think that that's funny or you think that that's cute in any way, shape, or form, please go ahead and exit because you're actually a disgusting person on the inside and out. And there's a special place in hell for you guys. I'm a grown woman and I can say wholeheartedly that whoever somebody's sleeping with has never bothered me. So the fact that people want to know and want to coochie monitor me so bad is like beyond me because I have a kid with this person. Contrary to belief, I've never been a hoe. I've never been anything like that. I literally have probably the lowest body count that a 24-year-old can possibly have. I think it's very normal to spin the block on somebody and give them another chance. Take it from me, if you literally leave my page today, block me and never come back, at least just remember this one thing: when somebody shows you who you are, you let them and you run far away from them and you never give them another chance. This video is not for any sympathy or anything like that. It's just simply being the bigger person and growing up and realizing that some people just take stuff too far. The whole situation is just dead to me. I don't feel bad for myself. I'm not a victim or anything. I'm just like really truly over it. And if you guys think that this is funny, okay, here you go. Have your laugh. Comment all the clown emojis as you can. But honestly, this is like real life, and if I was telling this story years from now, you guys would be praising me, but since I'm going through it full speed and allowing the internet to view me underneath the microscope, for some reason that warrants me to have a shit ton of hate on this app and be called all types of names and a bad mom and this and that and every name underneath the book pretty much. But you guys can have a field day in the comments. Just know that when I go back to Michigan and I'm being labeled as a bitter baby mom, this is why. I'm protecting my peace and my kids' peace from here on out, and I owe nobody an explanation.
In this video, and I'm giving backstory not to judge her, I'm just giving backstory for the people who don't know like what this whole thing is about, right? In this video, she says, you know, when somebody shows you who they are, you should believe them. But the full quote is, when someone shows you who they are, you believe them the first time. Unfortunately, this is not the first time that the random man from Atlanta has exposed explicit videos unbeknownst to Morgan to other people. Back when she was sharing her story and going viral, one of the baby mamas said, yeah, I reached out to this girl because I had seen videos of them having sex together. And then Morgan was like, I didn't even know that was happening. Morgan acknowledged that this happened. So he has shared explicit videos of them before. He also had been exploiting her for money. He's exploiting her for money right now. And one of the other baby mamas had said, this part, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't really know for real. But apparently she paid him money to return to their lives. Apparently, she offered him $20K to be a co-parent. Apparently, allegedly. That's what's being reported, okay? So I'm like, okay, so he has shown you that he's exploitative. Exploitative? I'm going to go with exploitative because that sounds better. He has shown you that. And then she had said when she was going viral that she didn't know that there were other baby mamas. But after, people did their sleuthing, they discovered that that random man from Atlanta had been posting the fact that he had kids on Facebook. So it wasn't a secret. So either Morgan was willfully ignorant to the situation or she flat out lied about the situation. We don't know. I say all this to say, okay? She's not wrong when she says, when somebody shows you who they are, you believe them. But you gotta believe them the first time. And like I said with the spinning the block situation, if the person cannot acknowledge wrong, if they cannot put things into place to be a better person and also give you a plan of action on how they plan on executing that plan, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? She had to pay the man, allegedly, to come back into her life, which tells me there was no change behavior. There was no remorse. There was nothing. Maybe it was loneliness, because being a single parent is hard. It is very hard. Being a single parent is hard, even if you have, forget being a parent. Even if you had a partner, a full-time, fully invested partner, being a parent is hard. So I think maybe the motivation of loneliness led her to, want him back in their lives. I know that she always says she wants to do right by Gigi, and it would be more beneficial for Gigi to have both parents. But if one of the parents is doing all of this stuff, how beneficial is it for him to be around? That's what I would think, me personally. So it's very important to pick wisely. And even if you've made a mistake, learn from it. And Morgan is still young. A lot of people say, listen, you guys need to have grace. She's young and she's figuring it out. And I do hear that. I wish she had a stronger village, because it seems like she's doing this on her own. I had seen videos of her dad. I don't know if her mom is there or anything, but I know I've seen her dad. So I would love her village to just build a hedge of protection around her. She says that she's moving back to Michigan, which I assume is her hometown where her family is. So maybe she is going to have that village to support her, because this man is not it, hasn't been it, and sounds like will never be it. Gigi's okay with a village. And if at some point in the future, random man in Atlanta wants to be, an upstanding father, fine. But that could be up to Gigi to explore that relationship with him. But as of right now, it's not beneficial to have that man around. Revenge, explicit videos, because I don't know if I can say that word. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And he did it he did it off the back of her name. He knows she's viral now. He knows she has a platform. He knows it is beneficial for him to keep her name in his mouth, because that's how he stays relevant. And he's going to throw that in her face by posting explicit content about her online. For what? What does this do? Even if you were so angry at Morgan, what does this do for you? Y'all, be careful who you pick. And even if you've made a mistake, have some grace with yourself and learn from it. Because watching the Morgan situation, it's been very sad for me. Because I'm just thinking, when is it going to click? And I hope that it clicks soon, because the sooner she truly cuts ties with this man and lets the state deal with him, the better. That's my opinion. But again, my opinion is relevant because these people don't know me, and my opinion has no merit in their life. So you do you, child. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This might be the last Hot Topics video in this apartment, because by the end of this week, I should be out of here. Praise God. Praise God. Again, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.